Hey, this is Mr. Molo with the 5.2 puzzle time. The joke for this one is, did you hear about the pig that built himself a home? So remember, this one's about substitution. So I got three different kind of problems here. So we're going to do letters A, I, and H. So here you'll see in letter A, the y is already by itself. So I'm going to take off this y in the first equation. So 3x plus 2, and I'm not going to put y in there. I'm going to put x minus 9 because I know that's what y equals. So instead of 3x plus 2y, I'm going to put 3x plus 2, and then I'm going to put this x minus 9 in the parentheses. So now when I distribute here, I got 3x plus 2 times x is 2x, 2 times 9 is 18, and it still equals 12. I get my x's together here, so that gives me a 5x minus 18 equals 12. And since it's a minus 18, I'm going to add 18 to both sides. I get 5x equals 30. Divide both sides by 5. And we figure out that x equals 6. Okay, and now we got to go back and figure out what y is. Luckily, for this problem here, it's going to make it a lot simpler for us. So y equals x minus 9, and we just figured out that x was 6. So instead of x minus 9, I'm going to put in a 6 minus 9. 6 minus 9 is negative 3. So we figure out that x is 6 and y is negative 3. All right, now if I look at letter I, this one's a little different. It has the x by itself. But same thing, it tells us that x equals 6 plus 2y. And so I'm going to take out this x from the second equation. So instead of saying negative 3x, I'm going to do negative 3 and then my parentheses, 6 plus 2y plus 14y equals negative 18. So after I do my distributing, I get negative 18, minus 6y plus 14y equals negative 18. So once I get my y's together here, negative 6y and positive 14y equal a positive 8y. And then let me get my numbers together. So it's a minus 18. So I'm going to add 18 to both sides. And I end up with 8y equals 0. So divide both sides by 8. We figure out that y equals 0. So now that I know that y is 0, I'm going to take that top equation again. So x equals 6 plus 2y. And we just figured out y is 0. So instead of 2y, I'm going to put 2 times 0. So x equals 6 plus 0. So x equals 6. So my two answers are y is 6 and x is 0. All right, and then h is one of those difficult ones that we talked about. So the top doesn't say x or y equals. The bottom doesn't say x or y equals. But the bottom one, we could make it say y equals here pretty easily. So it says y equals, or y plus 4 equals 16. So I'm going to get rid of this plus 4 by subtracting 4. And I'm going to figure out that y equals 12. Okay, so now I know, half my work's already done for me. I know that y is 12. So I'm going to take that 12 and put it in the first equation where the y is. So instead of 9x minus 2y, I'm going to put in 9x minus 2, and I'm going to put a 12 there instead. Okay, so I got 9x minus 24 equals 12. And since it's a minus 24, I'm going to add 24 to each side. Add 24 to each side. I get 9x equals 36. Divide both sides by 9. Divide both sides by 9. So you get x equals 4. So two answers. X is 4, y is 12. So remember, on problems like this where they don't say x or y equals, stop and take a second beforehand to think about which problem is easier, the first equation or the second equation, to make it say x or y equals. So then the answer to our joke is from, did you hear about the pig that built a house for himself? He had made a knot in his tail and called it a pig's tie.